draw from you again. Yeah, yeah. We have come to draw from you again. Yeah, we have come to draw. Let's have a seat quickly. Engaging divine access for the harvest, part 3. Part the admission and forfeit the benefits. So he informed me, and it was over a chat. If I remember clearly, I think I said God will surprise you. And not long after, now he was supposed to book a visa appointment. It's a long story, so I just hope I could remember as it were. But if I still remember what I think I remembered, he got a mail. Now, because the visa appointment was the problem, the COVID-19 limitation. So he got a mail. Now, this email came in through the mail, through a Yahoo mail, which he never used for the process. And he got a link there, opened the link, was able to book an appointment, and there were other people having similar issues. He had booked this appointment. He said, okay, well, I got the mail, I had the link. He took the link, sent it to the other people, and when they clicked on it, they said the link does not exist. So there are instructions that can be released because you tarried or you had an access to something supernatural that others don't have access to, and just by the virtue of that access, instructions will come. Privileged informations will be released. That's why many of us stop hearing God, because God told us things that are meant for our consumption alone. We told others, and that was the end. You try to help people that God is not helping. You try to assist people that God is not assisting. And God said it was because we gave you access. So on that day, the only time Peter called them was to come and assist him to pack the harvest. He didn't say, you better join me and wash the net too. He didn't say, come and cast it to where and what? And cast it to. So instruction. There are divine instructions that are not meant to be shared. There was a boy we had that missed us then, before the Spirit of the living God rescued us from his presence. When we stumble on something that works, if we carry it and go and begin to distribute, then you just see that what was working stop working. And one day we'll be talking. That's when he will still open his mouth and talk about what we have said should be concealed. That no, this one is an information that is given to us, not for everybody. He will carry it and begin to tell everybody that matters. There are divine instructions, and to obey them is key. Obeying them is what? Is key. Because tonight it is not about the instruction, now it is about obedience to the instruction. If we can have at least 20% of Christians that walk in true obedience, Christianity will be better. Nations will be better. Marriages will be better if we have just 20%. Because the problem is that most Christians are disobedient. Almost all Christians are disobedient. And that's why when people fight and insult pastors, pastors are one of the most obedient Christians. Because many of them have to obey God to even stand there. I didn't say all pastors. Don't get me wrong. But why you always see that when God wants to display a level of blessing, influence, the maximum of it, you see it on the man of God. Yes. I'm not saying you don't see it this way, but I say maximum. I say what? Maximum. Maximum. Because most of the time, those category of people operate more in obedience than an average Christian. Many Christians are disobedient. We find it difficult to comply. If there's a structure God has created, it is a Christian that wants to, I said it. This property, I think it's the man is a Muslim. And he said, because it is a church, the person who came here to give us problem was a Christian, even a pastor, who was the former owner. And the new owner didn't give. He said he believes that if he doesn't give a church problem, the prayer they are praying, part of it will be what? Reaching him. He said no agent should disturb us. That's a Muslim. But a Christian had been here to create nuisance, even when the property is no longer his own. I have had, if you ask me if a Muslim has ever given me a problem, I can't recollect any. In fact, I can't think of it. It's so rare. If I can't remember any. But Christians, I will tell you pastors, I will tell you bishop, I will tell you reverend, I will tell you general overseers. We are disobedient creatures. Say if ye be willing and obedient. The willingness must be there first. When you don't have the will to be obedient, you can't talk about obedience. He said you will eat what? The good of the land. There is a good in every land. But the reason why the land is tough for even Christians is that what? They had disobedience. There is a good in every land. That's where there's no nation. Go search the poorest nation and search for the richest man there. There's a rich man there. There is a good in every land. But the key is what? Obedience. Obedience. We have a small property attached to this property. The man said they must not give it out. When the church is ready, they should collect it. He said he doesn't want anybody that will go and be inconveniencing what? The church. That's a Muslim. That's why I said if Christians, 20% of Christians are obedient, that's just 20%, you will be surprised. But we are disobedient. Even when God said don't do this, that's the one they want to do. When there's a teaching that said this is wrong, that is when you will see our beloved Christians, they will say, their mind will just go to it to go and do that because it was just taught. Wetin God won't do. Now, the other religion, obedience and compliance is one of the key. This man was one of them. This man was one of them. I think this is my brother too. Someone's a Muslim. Obedience. There are things we do in the church here. If you do it, they will flog you. Afa is permitted to what? To flog you. If a pastor flog night, we enter news. They will flog you. It's just the truth. Obedience to divine instruction. Divine instruction can come anyhow. But when divine instruction comes, definitely somebody has an access. And somebody has to what? Accept. He said, cast your net. It wasn't meant for everybody. The only time Peter called them was, come and help me to what? Harvest. It's not for everybody. When was the last time you heard a message and you say, Kai, this message is for me? It's for me. You think we are here to preach because we have something to say? No, it's because God has something to say. And you need to see yourself as the one being talked to. I attend conferences. I'll soon be traveling now for another one. Even when my father-in-law used example, I will write it. Where he laugh, it must be. See, because I take everything as directly directed to me. That is how it is. All these things you are hearing, somebody's freedom is there. Somebody's wealth is there. Somebody's deliverance is there. But do you accept it as yours? Not to talk of what? Obeying it. That's why I say if you first be willing, willingness must come before what? Obedience. Willingness. So obedience to what? Divine instruction. There is nobody who will harvest anything, wealth or whatever you want to say, that will not what? Take what? Divine instruction. It may be tough, it may be difficult, but what? You must take it. You must take what? You must take an instruction. You must take an instruction. Must take it. Many of us, see, they say if you want to walk, you need common sense. You want to walk, you just need common sense to know that there is no road here. They say if you want to drive, you need direction. You need to know where you are going. But they say if you want to fly in life, you have to take instruction. Because when the pilot is in the air, he does not know anything. He's as good as a blind man. He begins to take instruction from the control room. Go to altitude so. Move at this speed. Now you are about to land. He will take instruction from taking off to landing. He will take what? Instruction. If you want to fly in life, if you want to be an high flyer, you must walk with instructions. Principles are made from principles. So when they say you are wrestling not against flesh and blood, but what? Against principalities and power, that means the people you are dealing with know principles. A witch knows what you must do for him to have access to your life, or she. There are people who want you to offend. They know the only way they can have a kind of authority or access into your life is you do something. So they operate on those laws and principles. And yeah, we have Christians who don't know principles. The basic ones, they argue about it on Facebook because it will take money away from them. They argue. Okay, you don't tithe now. You don't seed. You are the first to insult fathers. You are not under any covering. What do you now know? What? Oh, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not what? Perish, but have what? Everlasting life. You think that's sustainable enough for the entire journey of life? If they could kill the man they sent, the one who came to die for your sin, do you know how many times they tried to kill him? The Bible says he eventually just humbled himself in death. He surrendered himself. But if they could have killed him, they would have killed him since. But you, what do you know? What do you know to survive in life? You are treading among witches and wizards. What do you know? What is the instruction you walk by? What has God told you about your finances, about your marriage, about your offspring, about your career, about your progress? What are the rules guiding any aspect of your life that you don't have a spiritual law at work? You are going to suffer there. You will suffer there. I told somebody, he said, I don't know, I don't believe in giving, but I take care of the poor. I said, that is also good. But just pray you don't have a spiritual problem. That is when you will know why you need to apply spiritual laws. Because the day the spiritual come for you, you will know that physical laws bow to the spiritual. Physical laws bow to the spiritual. So divine instructions are divine laws, spiritual laws. How many of them do you know? How many of them is at work in your life? How many of them do you yearn for? And when have you gone to God and said, God, about my finances, what is the instruction you are giving me? At the beginning of the year, God gave me an instruction, and he said on the 1st of January 2027, you can now come to me and ask for this if you meet this criteria. So I am conscious of something. I have taken an instruction, and on the strength of that instruction, I have peace of mind that after 12 months, there's something I will get. What are you working with? What did he tell you? You know, if he doesn't tell you to do something, he will tell you not to do something. It is either of that. When was the last time God said do something? And when was the last time he said don't do something? There are temporary instruction. There are permanent instruction. There are situational instructions. There are systemic instructions that you must take. How many of them are regulating your life as you are? That's why I say if you be willing and obedient, then you will eat the good of the land. There is a good in every land. You will reap the good in that land if you walk with what? An instruction. But you must be obedient. The reason why you can't harvest is because there are rules, there are laws that governs the cosmos that can only be gotten from the spiritual realm. Unfortunately, occults know some of them. Witches know some of them. And look at how inquisitive angels are. The Bible told us in the book of Peter now. He said there are things that are revealed to the sons of men that angels are trying to what? To peep into. Angels are trying to what? To peep into it. So inquisitive. Knowing that life runs on principles. So there are men who have received things. The angels are trying to find out what have they received. So what is your life running on? What instruction is your life running on? Don't just sit down and assume there are things I can't do. There are things and there are things I do. There are things I do monthly. There are things I do weekly, daily, yearly. And they are divine principles. What principle runs your life? Is it that everything that you are doing now is as what you have chosen to do? You will fade in life that way. You will fade in life that way. Write down 20 things that God said do and God said don't do. Then that is where you will know where you are. That is when you will know where you are. Obedience. Obedience. Obedience to divine person. When you read the book of Ezekiel, you will hear that he laid down his left side, on right side, on he baked the feces of a cow dung hill, and all manners of instructions being disseminated to him. You have to do this thing, do this, do that. And it's very dangerous when you don't obey or you partially obey. None of it is good. Saul, he went to go and they spoiled that name, Saul. That God had to change Paul's name. Saul did something, and God said, no, I don't approve of this name. There is something in the record of Saul, that if we call you Saul, it will approve one Saul. So you will be Paul. He went there, delivered partial obedience. And Samuel said, to obey is better than what? Sacrifice. To hearken is better than what? A fat offering. Touch the rock, God said to Moses. He struck it. Sorry. Why should that annoy God? Some of us are suffering now because of what God told us and we didn't do. We are suffering from it. And you know the problem is that it can be a transgenerational something. That your forefathers can disobey God and the unborn generation will suffer from it. God takes his instructions very serious. He does not joke with them. That is why we do everything. We do everything to ensure that we are not failing him anywhere. Look at, I was telling you of the prayers I prayed yesterday. And you are hungry. And why I pray and say, don't let me fail you, is because you can fail him. It's not by power, it's not by might. He can talk to you and you didn't hear, and you didn't even know he talked. He can plant it in your mind at your level and you feel it's not God talking. And he doesn't care whether you believe it or not. What he has said it. How many times have such instruction come to us and we suffer the consequences because we didn't hear him well? It's the most terrible sin as far as I'm concerned. Disobedience to God. Because you will give account. You will give account. You will give account. Yes. You will give account. See, what I asked you to do, did you do it? You are going to heaven to meet the God you disobeyed all your life. How do you want to stay with him then? You give account. And that is why disobedience is costly. That's why it's costly. You will give account. He says, it is this earth realm you want to enjoy. You will enjoy it finish. How many years? 70 years? 80 years? 90 years? You will meet him one day and give account. You give account. What he asked you to do that you didn't do, you will give account. And there's one reason why I could lose everything for this gospel. I know he asked me to do it. Many people said all manners of things. Let whatever we go, go. But I will not obey the word. And on the last day, I will stand before him and not be able to defend my actions. What I ask you to do, divine instruction. That's what I said. If 20% of Christians on earth can be obedient to God, can do what he asked them to do, be what he asked them to be, we will have a better world. But the ones who are the children of light are the ones that are sons and daughters of disobedience. And when you see the one following a dead God, they follow him as if he's a living God. They follow him as if what? Obedience to divine instruction. Number 2, alignment with God's agenda. Alignment with God's agenda. And the greatest alignment that involves his agenda here is souls. There's no agenda that beats that. If souls are not one, is useless. The aim and the purpose of sending Jesus to us is still what? Souls. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. All other things shall be added. Unfortunately, we seek all other things. We want to add it ourselves. We want to seek it ourselves. Then want to blame other people for our problems. Blame other people for our failure. Why do you think they blame pastors? Are they the one ruling the country? Like I said, you will always see the full manifestation of God's love, affluence, harvest upon a dedicated soul, an obedient soul. And most times it's those pastors who left. Papa Adeboye left a mansion with boys' quarter and went to a room in motion. And you will now see that is the problem of the country, because he's blessed. When your own father selfishly chased his own agenda, taught you to be equally selfish, never to live your own life for God, and you think you will have the same reward, it's not possible. It's one of those things that Paul said we should say what? God forbid. He said, he that winneth soul is wise. He that what? Winneth soul is wise. This is not a message. This is not a topic to be preached. It's a life to be lived. Is that you hunt for souls. The same way devil goes to and fro, to and fro. These two people seated. This woman just joined us in November. Look at these two people. When she didn't tell me, I never knew. I was just talking to this brother, and I said, how do you hear about us? He doesn't even know the name of the woman. But this woman said what? I should come. I am not saying this because I want you to be serious at soul winning. I'm saying this to you because don't compare rewards when it comes. It should be a lifestyle. See, devil is going to and fro hunting. The Bible says he is seeking whom to destroy. Can you go to and fro seeking whom to rescue? Seeking who to rescue? Seeking who to rescue? He that winneth soul is wise. The Bible calls it the winning of soul because it is a battle. There's a battle over every soul between the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light. Whenever you are successfully able to bring a soul to God, you won. You won a battle. I'm expecting God to come and do it for us. No, you are the answer to the prayer. Jesus did not say that we should pray that God should come down and win soul. He said, pray that the God of harvest will send what? Laborers. Laborers. Who are the laborers? Who? Who are the laborers? Who is the answer? Or you are also waiting for a laborer to show up when you are there. You are waiting for what? A laborer to show up when you are the answer. When you are the answer. Jesus prayed that prayer over 2,000 years ago. If you don't see yourself as the answer, you have a problem. That is why Jesus has not returned. Because the laborers must be sent. They must be sent. Alignment to God's will, to God's system, to God's agenda. Are you not tired of doing it your way? Are you not tired of doing it your way? When souls are won, everyone rejoices. Everyone is happy. There is joy. There is joy. There is rejoicing. There is a party taking place in heaven. Because what? His soul is won. It was a battle, but his soul was won. Alignment with God's agenda. Now, of us need to wake up. We need to wake up. We talk about no mountain he won't climb. Coming after us. But you, won't you climb a mountain? Won't you cross a river for him?